Hello, everyone. Today, on a beautiful Sunday, I have already seen Ruth saying hello and welcome, dear community, from wherever you are joining from. We are on YouTube, only on YouTube today. So feel free to join with your account where you registered so that we can see your comments, right? And thank you so much for my team, specifically Ruth Omondi, for setting this up. My name is Susan Omondi, and I'm really looking forward to engaging with you. Our topic today is clarifying expectations, the key to realistic solutions. So let us know whether you are here, who you are, and where you are joining from. I'm seeing one more comment. Let me see. Timothy Baraka is also already here. Thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to ask questions, to add anything you'd love to as we continue with this session. Today's program, the topic, I will repeat it, it's clarifying expectations, because I realize whether I'm in Kenya, in Germany, Switzerland, or Austria, people really rarely clarify expectations. And it's really important and essential for you to meet your goals. So I will give you a short training session. And after this, our guest speaker and expert is Godfrey Odongo. And our interview, it will be an interview format. It will be about the relationship between self-awareness and realistic expectations. Thank you so much for joining us. This is amazing. I'm now going to share my screen so that we go through some slides, and I'll keep on watching if you have commented anything. And let me know, give me some feedback. Let me know whether you are seeing the slides. So back to you, Ruth and Timothy. Are you seeing the slides? Are you seeing what I'm showing? Let me know. And whoever has joined right now, you are welcome. And if you are busy, no problem. Just take your device with you or watch it on replay. It will be recorded on YouTube. I can also see Kevin Ochieng. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate. So Timothy is saying, yes, you can see the slides. So I'll continue so that I don't waste your time. Time is valuable. Right. When we talk about clarifying expectation, what do we mean? First of all of us know the issue of being disappointed. We've been disappointed in life, and I think all of us can relate to that. And what I realized is because we fail to clarify expectations, starting with ourselves. Now, ask yourself, when you were disappointed last, whether it's today or yesterday, what really disappointed you? And sometimes we say easily, it was my team, it's because of this person, or it's because of the weather. But that's kind of doing the blaming game. What we're talking about today is knowing yourself, clarifying expectations so that you don't do the blaming game. What's dragging you down? What really disappointed you? Could it have been lack of focus? Could it have been friends or family? Note, when we talk about friends or family, I'm not encouraging you to do blame games, but to realize, to get the root cause of your procrastination or even not achieving your goals. And sometimes, let's face it, there are family members who can pull you down and there are friends who can pull you down. So you have to know this very well without blaming them, because you also have an area of influence. You can influence the way you do things with people, and that's why we're here. Could it have been inefficient resources, yourself, because you didn't care, or it was an unrealistic goals, or something that doesn't make you happy, or an overload of goals, kind of great goals, but they're too many so that you cannot even meet them. That's also possible. So this slide will just encourage you to be realistic also, and also to get to know the root cause of not achieving your goals. Why do we need to clarify our expectations? What do you think? Why do we need to do that? What we prepared for you are three main things so that you can focus. You can really want, right? And next, we'll just okay, better. To succeed and thrive. Not only to focus, but to really meet that goal you wanted to meet. All right? And then the next would be to live your purpose. Do you have a purpose in life? Something meaningful, something you really want, where you really want to make a difference in life. Not only earning money, but really creating an impact to the community, to yourself, to the environment, to the people, to your family, whatever. So that's why we need to clarify our expectations. Before we move to the tools for realistic resolutions, I'll come back to you, checking who has commented, who has joined us, and also see if you have any questions. But tell me, have you ever been disappointed in life, and what do you think was the reason? Right, I can see you, Colin. Thank you for joining us. You're saying clear from my end. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever we are. Exactly. For Godfrey, it's good morning. For me, it's almost good evening. We've got Christine. Thank you for joining us too. Hello. And Ruth say she can see us. Hello to everyone from Essen. Thank you, Axel, for joining us. Great. So I can see already USA, Kenya, and Germany represented. That's amazing. Have you ever been disappointed in life, and why? What do you think? Let us know what you think. I'll move on to the tools as I wait for your comment. Now, it's very important to clarify your expectations, especially with yourself. We've got some tools for you, and if you Google, you'll find even more tools, but we'll concentrate on this, and then you can still interact with us, engage with us, ask your question to me or to Godfrey later. So your tools for realistic expectations or resolutions would be: first, know yourself and love yourself the way you are. It doesn't mean that you don't have to change. People change to be better, and our goal is to be better every day, but we just have to accept the way we are first. That's when we can make a step ahead. Know yourself and be yourself. This will help you not to live other people's lives, because if you don't know yourself, you'll be like, I want to be like Ruth or Godfrey, but you really don't know their reason, what drives them. And then it won't be your life. You have to know yourself and be yourself. This would mean you ask yourself, who are you when no one is looking? Who are you really here inwardly? Not that people see outwardly, but inwardly. Who are you? What are your values and strengths? What drives you? What motivates you? But write down your values and strengths, right? So that if you see that there's a best practice somewhere, or someone really doing good according to you, very successful, you can always ask yourself, do I really want to be really like this person just because he has a lot of money? Is it according to my values? Can I use my strength well? Then what's your purpose in life? How can you now use your strengths and talents to do something meaningful, to build something meaningful, right? Tool number 2 would be to clarify your expectation, our central topic today. How can you do that? First, with yourself, right? Know yourself, as you said before, and then ask yourself, what am I expecting from myself? What if I fail? Will I forgive myself? People fail to talk to themselves a lot. And when I was young, I really wondered why many people pray. I'm not religious, but I believe that if you sit down on yourself, whether it's meditation or praying, it's kind of you're also talking to yourself. If you take 1 hour walk with yourself, only with yourself, you also talk to yourself, you listen to yourself, your thoughts, and then you can clarify these goals or your expectations with yourself. What is it that's driving you, right? And what do you expect from yourself, right? What can you deliver? Where are your weakness? And the point is not that you work on your weakness, because if you do that, the other people will have been ahead. No, concentrate on your strength, but where you are weak, you can then invite other people to help you. That's the point here. Now, clarify also expectation with your team, family, and friends. Remember, I wrote that in my book. If at all you've read my book, if yes, let us know. And by the way, the English version is out. I'm very, very happy and glad. And you have a chance to win it today. All right? Now, keep watching, stay tuned. The question will come soon. Now, in my book, I talk also of a story where I did not clarify expectation. I never clarified expectation when I came to Germany. I didn't even know what to expect. So, in many occasions, I was really disappointed. When I learned that this tool is really, really great, it helped me deal with biasness. It helped me deal with my own disappointments, and it helped me realize what can I do myself. It gave me this power to choose. So if you learn to clarify your expectations, you really live a better, fulfilled life. So clarify expectations. This will also mean your family. Like now, I'm live, and my family is with me. Clarifying expectation will be to tell them at this time I'm very busy, and we'll meet again after that. If you fail to do that, you will be disappointed somehow. If you are at work, and this really happened to me, I expected once my boss to know my talents, what I'm doing, my performance, to give me a higher level. And when a colleague of mine came, she was given, I was left out. So then I thought, because I assumed he will see that, and at the end, I was disappointed. But it was not too late to ask him, please, what am I doing wrong? What should I do so that I also reach that level? So it's never too late. So if you learn it, that it's a really good tool, you'll always know to come back to it, even if you forget at the beginning. This would mean whatever project you're doing, whatever small job you're doing, whatever work you're doing, or your goals for the year, clarify first your expectations. And if you're working with others, seek dialogue and talk to these people. Never assume. Ask yourself, how realistic are your goals? And do you have the right framework? This would mean know your resources, know your finances, part of the resources. And many people do not do these calculations. I am facing it. I know we were not taught this when we were young, neither in the family nor at school. And it's very important to learn how to manage your finances so that you are free to do what you love to do. What about your time? Where do you spend your time? Where do you invest your time in? Are they things that are bringing you forward or not? And then, of course, skills, right? Knowledge is the theoretical part, but the skills are those that are practical. So ask yourself, what knowledge or skill do you need to move on to achieve your goals? And of course, something I also learned from Stephen Covey. I don't know who knows that book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I love it. Is make commitments. So sometimes you can make commitment to yourself, but it's kind of you become lazy and say, it's okay. The reminder is there, but I just ignore it. It makes a difference if you look for someone and let him or her know your goal. So you make a commitment. And then to this person, you can always report, right? You can say, oh, I owe this person a report or a status or where am I right now? Yeah, how am I performing? And you keep on reporting. By reporting to someone you trust, the chances are very high that you'll achieve your goal. So do you also have a goal buddy or somebody like that, or a cheerleader? I know that it works. Tool 3, because we are not perfect and you don't have to start perfectly, review and reflect. What do I mean? One of my resolutions this year was to reduce weight. Who can relate to that? And of course, to track my progress, I have to keep on measuring, right? And note it down so that even if I'm disappointed, but I face it and say, no, I still need 1 kilo less, right? So I have to track this progress. I don't have to wait till end of 2024, but I'll keep on weekly tracking this progress. This also applies to big goals, whether it's a company goal or even writing a book or even starting a great career. You have to start and track your progress, right? Whether you are going to do applications, whether you are going to do the job coaching, you have to track your progress. So you have a big goal, you have smaller goals, right? And then the measures towards those goals. And I don't know whether you've ever heard of it. People from quality management know this. Plan, do, check, and act. This is a very easy way to keep going in a constructive way, right? So if you plan something, make sure you do it. And with doing, that's when you have the information, or rather the, how do you say, the knowledge whether you are really doing well, or you have the information whether you should stop what you're doing because it's not really leading you to that goal. You should stop the measurement, change your goal, your track. So please plan, but do not only plan, do as well, and then reflect, check, what have I done? Is it really moving me closer to the bigger goal? And then act. Change your measures, change the people around you, change anything you want, as long as you are focused. So these are very important questions. Does everything you do bring you closer to your goals? And I sometimes realize if it doesn't, if I keep on checking my messages, or I'm always on LinkedIn, for example, then it's not really keep getting me closer to my goals. So it's important to set priority and also to allocate time for specific things. So it's you, it's all in you. You are the key. You can stand and fall and stand up again, just like kids who learn how to walk, they never give up. Avoid people who drag you down, and remember, no blame game. You can read this all for yourself, but what I love to say or to stress on here is start responding, not reacting. Do you know the difference between responding and reacting? Responding is choosing the way you react wisely, right? If a telephone is ringing, then you must not pick it up, but you can ask who is calling. Is it important? Do you have something more important to do? Is my child with me? Then I will choose not to do that. I will not be reacting, but rather responding. If someone calls you names or drags you down, you can choose to tell this person no. You can give him or her a chance, or even later say, no, you and me, we cannot work together. Our relationship is not constructive anymore. I will move on. Respond, do not react. All right? And then you have a great, great chance to achieve your 2024 goals and beyond. Let me just go back and see whether someone commented. Hey, Timothy, you're saying, I've been disappointed in life before. I'd attribute to that too. Too much expectations. I can relate to that, right? Either from yourself, you expect too much from yourself, or from others. And the thing is, if you don't tell them, you assume they will know your needs, then you'll keep on getting disappointed. All right. So the thing is, if there are people dear to you, your boss, your family, your friends, then you have to clarify expectations and do not assume that they know what you want. Thank you so much, Christina. You're also admitting you have been disappointed before as I over relied on someone else. Also, that's a great point. Yes, people over rely on people. And the interesting thing is they don't even know what you expect from them unless we open our mouth and talk, right? And then you realize maybe you cannot meet your goals with them. So you better choose other people. So it's very, very important to know where it came from so that you don't do the same mistake over and over again. And even if it happens, now you have the tools, you can always go back and say, why am I disappointed? Did I really communicate the expectations well? If no, go back to that point and do that again. Right. Anyone else? I think those are the only 2 or 3 I've seen. Feel free to ask your question or comment on that. Thank you so, so much for listening up to now. I'll wait for a minute and then if there's nothing else on that, on what I've just told you, anything you want to add or even disagree on, then it will be time to interview Godfrey Odongo, who is waiting all the way from New York, and I'm so, so thrilled that he's here with us. Before we move on, I'd love also to know your resolutions for 2024. Christine, Timothy, Ruth, Collins, what are your resolutions for 2024? And do you have all the tools to meet them? Right. I'll stop sharing now. And in a bit, Godfrey is joining us.
Hi.
Hi, Godfrey. Happy you are here with us.
Very happy to be here. And I've been listening and taking it all in as well.
Amazing. Great, great. Thank you so, so much. Now, Godfrey, I know you are in New York. I know you are a lawyer and you're a senior program officer. Would you love to tell us who you're working with?
Yeah, so I work for a farm or a foundation called Wellspring Philanthropic Fund. And for those who don't know Wellspring, because it's not that kind of well known, it's a private philanthropy where we help private individuals or high net worth individuals, people with wealth who want to give it to support social justice causes around gender equality, around immigrant and asylum rights, and around the rights to free speech across Africa, across Latin America, and in Europe. So we work with organizations that advocate at the UN and with governments, and then at the local level as well. So my role is to sit there and to be the steward or the go-between these projects and these private individuals.
Yes, great, amazing. That sounds purposeful, like it's something meaningful. I
It is.
like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How many countries have you ever been?
Oh, maybe by my last count, maybe 30, maybe 30, 32.
Yeah.
Hopefully I have another
Wow.
150 to go, right? But I would say about 32, yes.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
It is,
amazing.
yeah, yeah.
Now, before we move to our question, Godfrey, I would really love to know because I love learning from cultures. This issue of clarifying expectations. What do
Yes.
you think? Is it more on the Western countries or in the?
No, I
Do
think
you
I
see
would
any?
say, yeah, I would say that as an African, because I'm an African immigrant settled in the U.S., so I'm Kenyan, and I carry my Africanness uh, as well as my global my globalness as well. I would say that it is human. I think clarifying expectations is human. I think what might be it is both African, it is Western, it is from the global South and in the global North. What I say would be different would be that the written form and the very organized, structured way of doing it is a
Mm.
Western form. As you know, a lot of our cultures were very oral, and a lot of our cultures tended to live with the word of mouth and with stories and storytelling, and a lot of our
Yes,
stories were never written down. So it
that's
was the case that we have an oral history as as a culture, but the bit where it is put down and written and memorialized and in a way structured is Western. So the difference, I think, is the form of 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 putting the clarity of expectations, but the very idea of clarifying expectations is human. I think it is human, and it is as old as civilization is, and civilization is across the board.
I like that. I like that. Why is it that if it's a human, I've been there all along. Why is it that it's in where I move in Europe, it's kind of lacking. People fail to clarify expectations. Is it
Did you
difficult?
Yeah, did you say that that people fail to clarify expectations where you are right now?
Yeah, many people fail. Yeah, in Germany and Switzerland, maybe people are like, "Whoa, I didn't expect that. Oh, I expected that from you," but they never really communicated that well.
Yeah, no, I think so. As much as we said, clarifying expectations, and the idea is human, I think the idea of setting too much expectations or actually not doing it is human as well, and it applies to me. It applies to you. I think we take it for granted. I think the human mind can tend to be in a comfort zone, and that
Yeah.
comfort zone can tend to be procrastinating or tend to make assumptions, or sometimes it can meant to be assuming subconsciously you're assuming. So I think much as the idea is as old as civilization, much as the idea is human, it is also very much human not to do it, not to clarify expectations, and so you default to sitting comfortably and making assumptions, and sometimes setting yourselves up to fail by not clarifying expectations.
Yes, yes, comfort zone. That's a keyword. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I get you. Yeah, Collins is adding that higher expectations makes us disappointed in most cases. Yes, yes, that's true, especially if we don't talk about them, right? And
Yeah.
your resolution is to be a better person. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Right,
Yeah.
a good one, really good one. Thank you so much, Collins. Now, let me just go. He's now giving you this, Godfrey. Thanks so much, Collins, for listening and adding that comfort zone is very dangerous.
It is very dangerous. Yeah.
Right. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Now, as I said before, our interview topic will be now the relationship between self awareness and realistic expectations. And for this, I have got three questions to Godfrey. And the first one will be, how do self awareness and realistic expectations connect? The second one will be, how does clarifying expectations with yourself and others lead you and your team to success? And the third one and last one, which through three tools would you love to share with the community today for more realistic expectations? Now, before I give you the word for the first question to answer, dear Godfrey, do you have also resolutions for 2024?
Yeah, I would be remiss not to have resolutions. I have a lot of resolutions. So I think the idea for me would be which one do I pick from those many resolutions. I think like Collins, I want to be a better person across the board. But I think the one that I will pick this year, I think, is this resolution to have a childlike mentality, or to kind of regenerate myself and see how I can be excited for things that seem to be mundane. Because I've been doing some things for the same over and over again. How can I find joy and a newness in those activities? Like how can I get into a place where I'm going into a meeting, or I'm going into some of the projects that I've been doing, but with an excitement and enthusiasm that makes me be better in those particular things. So I think that is my uh, biggest New Year resolution, or the biggest, or the most prioritized of everything. But I could have 20 or 30 of them. But that one is the one I will mention.
Yeah, but then you have the danger if there are too many, then.
Yeah, then they mean nothing. They're not resolutions, right?
Yeah. But I like that so much. It's quite unique. I've never heard of this year or last year that you want to increase your being like a child.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
child who walks and stops because there's a snail there.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And how can you do? So how can I go to someone and enthusiastically talk about my what I do, and so that I can do it 10%, 5%, 15% just better, as opposed to, oh, I've been doing this. Um, it's the same thing. I know the way I do it. I did it 5 years ago. I'll do it the same way. How can I kind of add the beat about it? So
I love it. I
that's
love
it.
it so much. I'll copy that. Am I allowed to
Please
copy
do.
that?
No, please do. Yeah, please do.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Godfrey. I love it. So, how do self awareness and realistic expectations connect? What do you think?
Yeah, I think if there is a cheat code, I already have a cheat code because I listened to your first part of the training. So maybe if I could just say everything you said. But I would say that, with a bit of a personal story, I would say that self-awareness and realistic expectations are very connected. They're connected in the sense that, I think, to be to get to your goals, you need to
Hmm.
know yourself, right? and
Yeah.
and there are certain ingredients or certain things that you will need to think about for you to know your strengths, and for you to know the areas of discomfort. Maybe you can call them weaknesses, but also know why you want to do something, and then at the same time, what will it take to get you to where you want to go. So if I'm to summarize it, I think for my case, I've seen that purpose and values that you're talking about is at the top. Like, why are you wanting to do that project, or why do you want to be in a certain way, or why do you want to do something? I'll call that purpose and values. Then underneath that, you need to have, okay, an interest in doing it.
Oh,
An interest
yes.
in being a business person. You want to be what I am right now, which is working in this private philanthropic sector with a law degree. Or you want to go to Switzerland and the Alps, and just go and do that. Or you want to be a motivator. So where is the passion and interest to do it? But purpose, passion, interest cannot succeed without a strategy. So you need a strategy, and that strategy then helps you to bring the three of them together. In my case, when I was growing up, in Kenya, we were not set up to think as my kids, living here think, which is
Hmm.
to think through, what do I want to be, that dedicatedly. And so many times we wanted to be 10, 15 things. Sometimes you wanted to be something that sounds very exotic, like anthropologist, and you don't know what it is, and you want to be that. Or you wanted to be what your parents wanted you to be. And when I was growing up in the 80s, all my parents and in their generation wanted you to be a doctor or a lawyer, or one of those three, four things. And then eventually, for me, I landed in a law school in Kenya. And at that point, I thought I would go and wear a suit and a tie, or a bow tie and a white shirt, and carry a briefcase, and eventually go to court. I've ended up not doing that. And the question I've constantly asked myself is, why am I not doing that? Why am I not really in Nairobi as a high court advocate, which is what I studied to do, and which is what I became 21 years ago. So I was admitted as an attorney in Kenya 21 years ago. I said, why am I not doing that? And the question for me, and the answer to that question, lies in purpose. I thought I
Hmm.
wanted to use this law and the norms and the training that I got from that for a bigger purpose. Not necessarily that lawyers don't really have purpose, but to kind of expand at scale. that purpose by helping more people get to justice at a bigger scale. So that is why I took this route. But then after that, there were questions about how do I infuse that journey with passion, and then how do I get myself better? What different trainings can I get? And that's why I did these postgraduate qualifications that I did not need but were vital in the advocacy space. Then I realized eventually that I needed to rely on other people, that in everything you're not going to succeed by yourself, and so you're going to know yourself and know your style. Then after knowing your style, see how that style can be complemented for in the areas that you need it by other people. And that is where the strategy comes in. So I feel purposeful, as you said at the beginning. I could be, I'm hoping to improve by another 15% and get more purpose and value. And that's why I'm here to listen to you and to listen to Collins and Ruth and other people. And so passion allied with purpose, but then combined with strategy, reflect this self awareness, knowing yourself and seeing how those three things fit in yourself, and then of course setting yourself realistically to succeed by having a strategy.
Wow, amazing. With amazing story I can relate to, and I can agree. Yes, when we were growing up, it was like being a doctor was kind of actually I
Mhm.
really wanted to be a pilot and a lawyer myself.
There you go. You could still be those, a pilot trainer or a pilot motivator, not a literal pilot.
Yeah, and as you grow up and you gain the knowledge, it's still not lost. You can still ask yourself, as you did, how can I use these skills now to do something more purposeful? And as you say, purpose, value, interest, passion, and now comes strategy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and it's never too late to do that, to go back
No,
and
it's never
check.
too late. It's never too
Yeah.
late. We constantly have to do it. You don't do it once and it stops. You
Yes,
don't do it once. And I did all the law degrees I could do, right?
yes,
But you realize three law degrees and a doctorate does not make you a wholesome human being. You still need this regeneration. Degrees again are good and great technically, but you need purpose beyond those papers. So you are always constantly wanting to study, wanting to have this lifelong desire to be better as well.
yes,
Yeah,
amazing. And learning from kids.
and learning from kids and having a childlike mentality. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
love it, love it. Before we move on, thank you so much, dear Godfrey. Ruth is adding, I would like to work less and rest more, but I don't think it's happening. What would you tell Ruth with this statement?
No, absolutely. I think I will get to. I relate to what Ruth is saying, and that's absolutely essential. Work balance, work-life balance, and health, and whole being and wholesome health is perhaps one of the tools that's going to allude to in one of the answers to your questions as well. So totally, Ruth, I'm with you, and I'm willing to compare notes and draw from you if that is possible on how to do it.
Great,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. Ruth, I'd love to know whether you have a plan, tracking those measures. Yeah, you want to do that. What does it take to do that? So maybe we start from there. But I'm happy that you're true to yourself. You're saying you don't think that's happening already. That's great. Now, let's move to the second question, dear Godfrey. How does clarifying expectations with yourself and others lead you and your team to success?
Yeah. So this is a good question, and it is an important one. I think where I landed with my first answer was strategy. And strategy, if we unpack the word, because English is also that language that has big words sometimes, and we need to pack it. So the other way to talk about strategy is to call it a plan.
Yeah.
What's the plan? And within that plan, there are certain things, right? Within that plan, there are goals or outcomes. What are you aiming to achieve? In my work, often it is, you know, reducing the level of violence, I think, in society, or it is expanding the space within which people can freely speak, or it is the passing of a law that makes people's lives better. That's the goal. In our small lives, it is basically succeeding and being successful in that week, accomplishing your assignments and projects and being able to deliver them. For some people, it is leading a team and ensuring that 2 people, 5 people, 20 people get to do their different parts towards this one goal. So what is the goal and outcome is a big part of the strategy. I think clarifying that goal is important. I think there is nothing that is inefficient and ineffective and never getting you to your goal as much as getting people to sit together or come together in a team and not people are not clear about where you're going. What is your North Star? What are we all working towards? And so that can be frustrating even in the individual sense. So clarifying your goals is important. It is also most important for a team environment. Goals without a plan and how to execute them also sometimes will be just words, right? So underneath goals you need things like milestones. What are the interim steps for you to, or the small mini goals or the small goals that get you to the big goals, and that is related to the issue of time on how to achieve those goals. So right now, since last year in the fall, September, I and 2 other people. One is in the UK at a university, and one is at a university in Pretoria in South Africa. We are book editors, and we are coordinating the editing of 45 people who are writing this one book that we hope to launch in September, published by the Pretoria University Law Press. The book is talking about child rights or children's rights norms in Africa, and the complexity is that we have 45 or nearly 45 or 40 to 45 individuals writing chapters, or writing each of them writing chapters. So the process started with the three of us coming together to propose the book, to approach the potential experts, these 45 people, to have them accept, and to have startup meetings where we were all saying this is the format, this is the template, this is the structure, and then setting concrete milestones after saying this is the way you have to write it, this is your sources of research. Then setting milestones. Those milestones are like February 15th, we need to be coming together as authors to check on the first draft. March 15th, we need to be then doing the second thing of where are we and who is struggling. And then where do we share this? A Google platform where everybody can access everybody's work. And then April 15th, that's the final deadline for the first drafts to be in, for us then to send them to somebody to review them and us to actually do our editorial job by June 15th, so that by around July 15th, we are ready to have had review drafts so that the publisher can have the draft chapters ready for copy edits and final edits for the book to be published in September. So the milestones are part of it. And just this weekend I was speaking to one of the two editors, and they said we need to go back to a monitoring plan. So you've set goals, you've set milestones with timelines, but how then do you monitor and constantly go back to check
Oh,
whether
yeah.
you're on track or you're off track? Who's late? Are we late? And when we're late, how can we quickly correct the lateness? And that plan of goals, milestones, and a monitoring plan, I think applies across the board. I think it applies in your personal life, it applies in the house you want to buy, it applies in the task you want to accomplish, it applies in your business. So that having that strategy and breaking it down in that sense helps clarify expectations with milestones and a way to check whether you're meeting and constantly going by those timelines and milestones as well. So I think that clarifying expectations is absolutely important, not just for us, but like in this context of our book project, it is certainly important for the 45 people we are working with. We are not going to succeed if we are not having that plan, and if we are not strictly following it and monitoring it and not veering off. That book will not be a reality. But I believe I'm strongly confident that we are going to get there because we are following this plan and the expectations have been clarified very well.
Amazing. Congratulations to that book. That's an amazing
Yeah, yeah.
project.
I think you'll clap for me when the book is published, right? So that's November 2024.
No,
November
it's
2024.
still a great.
Yeah,
I'll do that. Saying I'll go for it. I'll manage it. That's
yeah,
already for me. That's a lot of courage in there.
yeah, yeah. And but then as an
45
editor in the
people. You know,
book, yeah, and as an editor in the book, you also set the standards and set the examples and setting each. So one of the tools you're going to get into is this point of you can set the strategy, right? But you also need to, where necessary, as you are talking about a mentor, you can also talk about a peer. Who do you check
Yes.
your plan with? Is there somebody who is in a
Yes.
similar situation who you can compare notes with? And in this case, I think the beauty of this is that a lot of these people we're talking about are very highly qualified academics and scholars, but then checking how somebody is going and comparing how you can implement your own plan with that person is a form of mentorship or a form of peer learning from someone else as well.
I love that. And in your case, it's also learning from, the way you write and what kind of input, expertise you put into the book,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they'll all have different views. I think
yeah,
that's amazing
yeah,
to watch that.
yeah,
Great.
absolutely.
Let us know when the book is out. When you were talking about that, I was like, I wrote two further books with two people, and we clarified also expectations. And it
Mhm.
was very important as we stick to the plan, but also the way we write. We
Yeah,
had this, how do you say, uh, uh, or when we have a football match, then there's also
yeah,
rules of
yeah, yeah,
play.
yeah. Rules, yeah, template rules, yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So it's agreed. This is the writing style. This is the for us. It's 6,000 words or 6,000 to 8,000 words maximum. This is the guidance. This is the format. This is the topic. This is the yeah. So you need to put the rules. And those
yes,
rules should be understood by everyone. In our case, you need to write it down, and everybody needs to. Actually, we had virtual meetings where we talked about it, and everybody agrees on those as your MOU, memorandum of understanding. So we're all doing the same thing with the same script.
yes,
Otherwise, you're not going to get to
yes.
a unified way. And you need the script even in your own personal endeavors and
Oh,
personal projects.
definitely.
I think it helps when you're working with other people, but I think it also helps when you have your script that you follow and helps you stick to the plan in your
Exactly.
personal.
I
Yeah.
believe that there's power in writing. Actually, even digital, I do it digital, but there's still power in using a pen.
Oh
If
yeah.
you write,
Yeah.
this is
Absolutely.
me and this is what I want to achieve, it's really amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Godfrey, for this great input, for your story. And of course, if you fail to clarify expectations with yourself and with your team, you will be frustrated and you won't meet your goals. So, people, join us as we discuss the third question, and let us know if you have something to add, a question to Godfrey or to us both or to the community. Feel free. Now, the third one will be, which three tools would you love to share with the community today for more realistic expectations?
Yeah, so I do have three tools, which several, but maybe in this spirit, I think the tone of our talk is we have to be deliberate about not having a thousand things, but being very careful about. So I would say the first one goes to what Ruth I kind of alluded to, which is I think within everything that you're doing, whether it is in your private domestic life or the work life or advocacy, I think it is important to take a break. It is important to have moments of reprieve. It is important to pull back and regenerate your body, regenerate your soul. I think for me, physical exercise is a big part of it. I've taken on meditation, so I'm proud to be a meditator. I meditate now. I think I'm on my 360th day, constantly meditating every day. So I'm hoping to get to
Wow.
365. I get to a place where my spirituality, you are talking about God and spirituality, I think is a big part of it. But I mention all these things when the weather is good, because the weather is not like in the equator in Homer Bay, where I came from, where the weather is just good the whole year. When the weather is good, I have a bike that I go and ride there for a long time and listen to birds singing and having nature. And you can get birds singing and nature in New York. Believe you me, we're in a place where there is birds and trees and stuff. So getting that break, I think, is important. And so what Ruth was alluding to, which is moments to take rest
Yeah.
and just put away what you're doing, whether it is running your house, whether it is taking care of the children, whether it is writing the books that we are talking about, or thinking about the law. I think forgetting about the law for a moment, forgetting about the life that is work life, and taking time to regenerate and get your well-being is the most important part of it. And I think I would say that many examples. I think it took me. I went to study in South Africa for my postgrad, and at one point when I was doing the doctorate, it's a 3-year process. The key factor was the fact that I'd been too used to being in that environment in Cape Town, and it took going to Denmark, Copenhagen, for 6 months for a fellowship for me to get a mental switch and to propel the fast parts, because I was like, it's the same environment. So a break can be amazing, and that break can be 1 hour, or that break can be 6 months. So from time to time, as someone who's done work for the same company for a long time and in the same sector, I take fellowships, I take sabbaticals, I take a break just to recharge, and take a break and pause, and I come back with huge energy to succeed. So that break and reset, I think, is important. I would say the second tool that is most important is this tool of peer and mentorship, comparing notes with someone else, or seeking to see whether you can compare notes with what you're doing with what works for other people, not so that you borrow what works from them, but so that you have a mirror and a reflection of how do other people do it, so that you're not in a bubble of yourself. I think as you get older, you get in a bubble, you get comfortable, you get.
Yes.
This is the way I have people who don't want to use technology because they're used to doing it in a certain way. They don't want a Google because they used to have a domain that is different, and you want to compare notes with them, and you can't, because oh no, they can't even, they don't want to touch that. Or so change is difficult, and change takes time. And so for you to acclimatize your mind to be embracive of change, to improve, you need to see what other people are doing. Then the third tool is this tool of marginal production. So how can you minimally improve what you're doing? Everything you're doing, you can minimally get better. You can get better at relationships. You can get better at executing tasks. But how do you incrementally and marginally improve? Not expecting to improve 2 times. It could be 2%. It could be 1%. Then allied to that is this. So that's a mental frame too. It's also that there's failure, and there are elements when you fall short. And when you fall short, you don't fall short to say I've failed. You fall short to say, how do I do better? That did not work, or that did not kind of succeed. How can I do it better? How can I write my chapter better? How can I get a better product? How can I, get a better thing? And how do I learn from setbacks and places where I did not do as well as I expected in that plan that we've been talking about? And so you course correct by doing things differently, not doing the same things, because when you do the same things, you can't expect different results, right? So you can only get
Yeah.
different results when you course correct, and do things differently. So this thing of a reset and a recharge and taking a break, I think, is a tool for me. The second one is this peer mentorship kind of programs. And comparing notes with others, and borrowing from others and drawing from others, I think, is an important point. And this point about marginal increasing of your performance or value, but also learning from setbacks, or what you can call quote unquote failure, is another tool that I will offer.
Great tools, amazing tools. Dear community, if you have any questions, something to add on that, or whether you're using them or you will use them, we'd love to hear. Godfrey, taking a break, that's very, very important. And I realized years ago, on a mini level, even if someone say, I have to keep on working to get my finance goals met, but still, I don't know whether you'll agree, but I say to myself, no excuse for that. Every day, at least 1 hour for myself. So I go
Y-
for a walk or
Yeah,
I dance myself fit, but it's time with myself.
yeah,
What do you think about that?
yeah. No, so in the sense that carving it out, right? Carving and deliberately uh, carving out that. No, I think absolutely a finance plan. Um, the only way it will work is if you stick to that plan, and we know
Yes,
that how hard and difficult it is to stick
yes,
to that particular plan. We know how hard it is to. I think, in my calendar at work, because we have these Outlook calendars. I block 1 hour every day to say I'm going to walk. Sometimes I end up not walking but it is in my calendar because I'm supposed, I think, technically to work 8 hours a day. Within those 8 hours, you have a break. I say this time I can't have any meetings. It's blocked, and it is blocked in the calendar. There's a
And
walk.
people will
Yeah, there's a
understand.
walk. Yeah, there's a walk going on. And for people who are talking about physical exercise, you know that um, discipline is a key part to it. I've been going to the gym for, I don't know, 10 years, and I still go, and it takes discipline. But once you once you discipline yourself and once you get into it, I think you're going to do it. So the force of focus and the mental will to do it is going to make you do it. But it can't happen when you say, I'm going to do it today, and
Let
then
me push it tomorrow.
let me push it tomorrow, or I'm going to do the financial plan, but for now I'm going to just be loose on it.
Yes,
I'm just going to be loose on it just for now. It doesn't work. I
doesn't work.
think it works the other way, that those plans actually mean something if you're going to stick to them. You might end up
Yes.
not accomplishing the finance plan, but but that would be because the factors beyond your control. But for you to succeed, you have to be dedicated about it, blocking that 1 hour to walk or to take care of your children or to take care of yourself or that's that's a deliberate plan that you have to be sure that you want to do. So I agree with you totally.
Stick to your plan. Even if you do not see the results, be patient, because I know most of us really want it now and we want it all, and that's not possible. We have to be patient. So let me just repeat your three tools: take a break, reset, recharge. That break can be 1 hour daily, a break can also be a week, or it might also be a forced break. Maybe you're sick, but then think twice. What am I been doing? Is it still purposeful? Where am I going to? That's
Mm,
taking a break. And also compare your notes with the peers. Allow change to happen. Do not deny technology. It's here and it's working with us, and we are embracing it. That's very important. Compare notes. Commit yourself. Look for a cheerleader or a mentor or whatever, but compare notes. That's also one. There's a second one. The third one, these minor improvements, right? It must not be a big thing like from the Germans have this. I'll translate it directly. They always say in America there are always stories of becoming a millionaire overnight.
yeah,
But
yeah. it
this is
sounds
not
it sounds
realistic,
it
not
sounds fiction. Yeah,
probably.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So minor improvements every day, and they will get you there to buy that house, to be in that career position you want to be, to live your purpose. Minor improvements every day, which are focused and not getting away from the real goal, right?
hmm
Yes, yes. Amazing. Thank you so,
Absolutely,
so much.
absolutely. That's very accurate. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's see who has commented again. I will learn from here. Thank you so much, dear Ruth. And Timothy is saying strategies must be accompanied with set milestones and constant review of the same. Learning quite a lot from the live. Thank you so much for joining us, and let us know your 2024 goals, dear Timothy. Now, I promise you that you will win my book, which just arrived, freshly new. You can get it on Amazon. And I have a simple question for you. Where is Godfrey joining us from? That's a quite easy one. Or
Yeah,
should I
that's
make it
very
as
no.
Godfrey?
That's very easy. Yeah,
That's
you
very
should
good.
you should ask them about international law.
Oh, that I will.
What is the
That
topic of the book that Godfrey is editing? But listen, the other one is very good. The other one is very good. Where is Godfrey joining us from? Yeah.
I just want to know who listened, but and Timothy did listen. Timothy, you'll get the book today. I'll buy it and send it to you. Let me have your
Very,
address.
very
Congratulations.
lucky. I have a copy of mine already. It arrived
Oh,
yesterday,
great.
so it's a great book. Timothy, you're going to enjoy it.
Thank you so much, Godfrey, for your trust and for reading it. And Timothy, thank you for joining us and for engaging with us. That's amazing. Great. Now we are done. Godfrey, what are you going to do today? You still have your morning. We are going towards evening.
Yeah, so I'm going to think about how I'm going to do my gym today,
Yes,
and then maybe after the gym, I'll eat something, and then I'll start this quest of being a child, right?
yes,
Let me see what part of I have children, right? So let's see what they have to offer
yes,
in teaching me to be a child. So maybe that's my Sunday, right?
yeah. Amazing, amazing. Let us learn from kids, and I love that very much. It's very impactful, very nice, and it gives you the bond to the kids, definitely. But let us adults also learn from kids. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Timothy is saying much appreciated. You feel free to share that with your community. It's all online on replay. Thank you, Godfrey, for your trust, for being here
Thank
with
you.
us, for the valuable input. Amazing, amazing. See you at the backstage, and dear community,
Thank
talk
you.
next
Thank you,
time.
community. Thank you, listeners. See you again. Good luck. Bye.
Bye.